Hey everyone, welcome to Bald Guy Money. Over the past few years, I've seen the market become more and more reactionary. Big moves both up and down being triggered by the announcements of unrelated or benign economic and financial data, only to be followed by an immediate correction. Today, most analysts ignore the fundamentals. Much of what we see on the market is speculative and has led to things like this, what you're looking at here. The insanity of companies like stationary bicycle manufacturer Peloton reaching a total market valuation of nearly $50 billion at one point. And once the fundamentals kick in, it all comes crashing down. And the average Joe is usually the one left holding the bag. Now, for those of you who are watching the price of silver closely, meaning on a day-to-day basis, it can really begin to feel like you're riding an emotional roller coaster. And while most YouTubers talk about jobs, the CPI, and what the Fed is going to do, which is all admittedly important, some of the most important data that influences the price of silver goes totally ignored. And what that data is telling me is that silver stackers had better take advantage right now. Just before we move on, I kindly ask you to watch this video all the way through to the end for an important channel announcement. A member of the Bald Guy community needs our help, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do at the end of this video, so please stay tuned to the end of the video for that message. Now, I did a video 1 year ago where I opened this topic on the importance of a specific data set regarding the price of silver for the first time. And what I was trying to tell people back then is that global PMI manufacturing index is one of the most important indicators in determining what the price of silver will do. And for some reason, as I mentioned earlier, it gets totally overlooked by other silver YouTubers. This index is a survey-based indicator which is designed to show real-time changes in business and economic conditions as they relate to the production sector. And as you can see here, when I showed it for the first time last year, the correlation between a strong PMI and a rising price of silver was established, while a weak PMI clearly resulted in the price of silver falling. Now, if we take a look at just the US PMI, and my Patreon members will be familiar with this because they've seen it in my last newsletter, we can see that we are in the midst of a considerable recovery since hitting a real low back in November and December of 2022, which is when the price of silver started to rebound after breaking well below the $20 per ounce mark in October 2022. So how I interpret this and why I called this video Buy Silver Before This Happens is that although you're not going to get as good a deal on silver as you could have back in September and October 2022, back when I called a $17 per ounce bottom on silver and was really trying to ring the alarm bell with these two videos, but if I am looking at where we currently are on the PMI manufacturing index, it's clear to me that although things are improving, we have a long way to go before manufacturing fully recovers. And if we have a long way to go before manufacturing recovers, that also tells me we have a long way to go before we reach the top for silver. And what I am doing is I am trying to front run that or get ahead of this data by buying silver now, and the major factor that will guide my silver purchasing will be based on the results of the global PMI numbers, which will be released on May 8th. Because if the global number goes up for April, I will treat that as a signal that we are well on our way to getting back above $30 per ounce by Q1 2024, which is something I've been talking about for more than a year now. And I want to stack some more silver before the full recovery happens, not after. So that is how I am seeing the market right now, and as I'm making this video, I am seeing that the price of gold and silver are way up as fears about regional banks are being reignited. This is coming a day before the Fed rate announcement, and whether this is another one of those reactionary things I mentioned at the beginning of the video, or not, we'll have to see. But if there's any message I wanted to deliver to you all in this video, it's don't make decisions based on fear and market reactions and market overreactions. Look at the fundamentals, because when it comes to silver, the fundamentals are telling us that there's clearly some room for the price to run. And now for this video's viewer question, and remember, you can submit your questions to me in the comments section of this video. This question comes from a viewer named Stephen Chung, and he wants to know, would silver in a global recession, depression, not perform poorly because it's an industrial metal? Please explain why not. So thanks a lot for your question, Stefan, even if it did give me goosebumps because you worded it a little like a high school final exam question. But the question is valid, and it ties into what I have been talking about in this video. Because I am under no illusion that we are heading out of tough economic times right now. We are in a recession. We have been in a recession for the last year, and it is not done yet. But in the economy, there are leading indicators and there are lagging indicators. Things that tell us what's to come, like manufacturer data, and things that tell us what was, like the CPI. And the major things I am seeing right now are, number one, we hit the bottom last year when the worst of the manufacturing contraction happened. And although we may not come roaring out of this, we are currently trending upwards from 2022 and could be moving sideways. Again, let's see what numbers we get from the global manufacturing PMI on May 8th. But what I'm seeing right now is, again, that the worst is behind us. The second point is that we are dealing with a banking crisis, and that is not a typical thing to deal with in a recession, even though it's beginning to feel like it's normal. And in a banking crisis, silver is going to benefit. Just remember how it went up more than 50% from 2006 to 2008 before hitting nearly $50 an ounce in 2011. Finally, demand is outpacing new production this time around. Now, don't misinterpret that with a shortage. In theory, all the silver we have in our houses is supply, if the price gets high enough. But it will certainly help lead to sustained price growth as it becomes marginally more difficult to satisfy the market's silver needs, especially as you have many new stackers creating new demand for silver bullion. So I hope that answers your question, and now I have a very important channel announcement I want to make. This is Lindsay. She is a young mother of 2 beautiful children living in Michigan, and Lindsay has experienced serious issues with her heart. This is not the place to speculate why, but it has left Lindsay in a state where, well, to be honest, she's struggling to pull through. I am going to link Lindsay's GoFundMe in the description of this video and the pinned comment of this video, and I just want to ask any of you out there who can give just a little to help this woman and her family. The money is being collected directly by her family and is going to the cost of her hospitalization as well as to her children. So please help if you can. Whatever bit you can afford will go a long way. I've always told people that I know, people in the community, that the Bald Guy community viewers have really kind hearts, that you're really decent people, and I'm really counting on you all right now to show a little bit of that and give this young lady some support and show that what we do when people get knocked down is we put our hands down and we help lift them up. So again, the GoFundMe is going to be linked in the description of this video and the pinned comment. I would appreciate whatever help you can give this young lady. That's it for this video. Links to my data sources are also in the description of this video in case you want to double check some of the things I've been talking about here. I'm wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. I'm wishing you all health above everything, because health is wealth at the end of the day. And until the next time we see each other, take care of yourselves and always take care of each other. See you next time. Goodbye.